It's a bucket full of life, folks. And the best place to put this bucket of life is in your garden. And doing it once a month, and I know on the packet it says every 3 months approximately, and that's generally what we say, the change of season to feed your garden. But if you put less more often, isn't that better? Imagine sitting down and having the Last Supper, the big banquet, so much food, you're going to be bloated, you're not going to move. Do the same to the garden. So we're feeding the soil and it needs to be fed on a regular basis, and that's what I'm doing. So why am I feeding more on a regular basis nowadays? Because in the past it was every 3 months or 6 months. Well, over recent times with the studies and colleagues of mine researching and learning more and more about what goes on in the soil, I was just blown away to realise that we know very little or understand very little, especially in horticulture. I don't think they teach it well, or maybe they have changed of recent times, but earlier on it was all about chemicals and insecticides and fungicides and NPK. The NPK. So what's your NPK? That's only 3 minerals or elements when it comes to fertilizing. There's so many more on the elementary table, folks. So NPK being nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Plants need more than that. They don't just live on NPK. Yeah, I suppose they work, but at the end of the day, we're talking about nutritional value here. So you want to give your plants the best opportunity, and the best way to do that is by feeding the soil, the life in the soil. It's like our guts. You have a good healthy diet, you've got a good healthy body, because it all starts from the gut. And with the plants, it all starts from the soil. So imagine, exactly, I'm thinking the same. I don't put chemicals in my body, so I'm not putting them in my garden bed. So feeding on a regular basis, you're populating the microbes, and that's including the bacteria and the fungi, all the good ones. Sometimes the bad ones get in there as well, but if you've got a healthy garden, my dog's barking. I'm not sure if you can hear it. Kara! Oh, Kara! Sometimes the bad bacteria gets in there as well. So, feeding on a regular basis, you populate the life, and even better so when you have multi-species planting, which is another thing I learned and I'm really enjoying, folks, you get some amazing growth happening in your garden. Don't look at this garden bed. This is the one that's only just recently been revamped and I'm still planting into it. Let's go and check out the other colony down there. Oh, strawberry. Strawberry, nearly ready. You know what? If I leave this for too long, or another day or two, it's going to get eaten. And I reckon it needs another day, but I reckon not only I am watching it, I reckon there's a lot of eyes on these strawberries. Here's another one down here. See, that's not ready yet. There's a few. Lots coming up in here. Look at this bunch over here. Hey, there's another one down there. Oh, I always miss out. If it's not the bloody pests in the garden, it's the family. It's a little bit underripe. Oh, underripe. You kidding me? That's delicious. What was I doing? Oh, feeding. Sorry, I'm too busy feeding myself. So a light dress. Look, I've got a handful, and I'm just sprinkling it around the garden, not just around the plants, it's the soil. You just want to sprinkle it around everywhere in the garden to help populate the life, because it's a bucket full of life. We're just putting more back into the soil. So what do we got here? Broad beans that took forever because, again, started late. We've got strawberries, we've got a leek going in there, we've got chicory, we've got silver beet, we've even got some garlic, but the garlic is actually struggling because this is really bad soil for the garlic. I've done it a second time this year. So on the downside, get your soil right, and that's what I'm still doing with this garden bed, but it's starting to take off. You can see the life in it. Look at the silver beet. I mean, that grows like a weed anyway. And in here, look, even a tomato is being planted. Can you believe that? Competing against all the root system that's going on around it. But don't forget, we've got the grow stick here too. So energizing the soil, we're just putting that extra bit of life and life into the plants and the soil itself. Also, if you remember, if you've been following me for a while, or about 5-6 months ago, I reckon it would have been, at least, I had some horseradish and I popped it in the ground everywhere and then it just disappeared. Well, can you recognize it? See this? It's back. It's back with a vengeance. Now, for those who know about horseradish, you know what's going to happen to this garden bed. And the purpose of this garden bed is, well, not the purpose, the intention is to grow horseradish and strawberries and some broad beans whenever the season's right for them, and a couple of other plants dotted around with some onions and that. Not the garlic again. The garlic will be better in another section, which is taken off really well. But the horseradish is going to fill this garden bed up. I don't have to worry about trying to fix the soil, but I'm still going to fix it. A little bit of a feed here and there as we go. Oh, And celery leaf. Don't forget that. Oh, we popped a little petunia in here. Oh, you little darling. Struggling. Slightly young. Yeah, we got one in here, folks. Now, these are cauliflowers, and I've had a few comments saying, you got nothing but leaves on here. You're not going to get any bloody flowers on them, or the cauliflower head. Well, that's technically a flower. Well, it flowers when it's ready to flower because the plant knows its cycle of life, and you know, with all the bacteria and microbes living on it, it tells it, and it says, okay, time to flower because you're going to die. Well, these ones aren't ready to go anywhere, folks. We're going to have to consume all these leaves, and I reckon the nutritional density on this plant is crazy. Now this one, look, let's see if we can find a head. It's still swirling around in there. It's in there. Oh, look. Can you see that little baby in there? It's formed. It's still a little darling. But wait, there's a bigger one over here. This is starting to kick on really well. There we are. Have a look at that little beauty. Oh, coming along just nicely, folks. So, cauliflowers, a little bit late. And one thing also, if they go a little bit pink, it's because you've left them out in the sun too much and you get water on them and they start to discolour. That's what's happened to this one here. But that's ready. Oh, it might be a pink head cauliflower. Might be, I just can't remember what I planted. But we're eating that for tonight with a barbie. A couple of sheep from the paddock. Got to catch them first. And our spud bag has had a top up because all the spuds were showing, so now we're just going to give it a light feed as well. So we started down here, we're up to here now with our soil. There we are, see it there? So all the spuds were showing in there, and give it another, I don't know, a couple of months, we'll be putting another top up of mulch and all that, and then by January, February, we should harvest them. So that time of the month again, folks, time to feed your garden. Just a light top dress, very light. And look, I'm using superfood. You can use compost if you like, or even our planting mix, which basically has everything in it, and the famous black grit as well. The black grit for the calcium silicate, which makes a huge difference to the plant life. So a light feed in your garden goes a long way for the health and the nutritional value of what you grow. Look, you don't have to eat everything. Even the flowers will perform better. So those ornamental plants, anything you got growing in your garden, it's all about the soil and the life in the soil. So a bucket full of life like this and a little bit of mineral, rock mineral, black grit is all you need to do. Check it out, vasilisgarden.com. And if you're watching this just as we've uploaded it, I'll be at 3AW doing Talkback Radio Weekend Gardening with Darren James, and it's our weekend grand opening for Berwick Outlet. So pop down there, say hello. I'll be there from 9 till 1 p.m. We've got superfood to give away, plus everybody who shops by midnight Sunday goes into the draw for a chance to win a $500 garden hamper. So it's all out there for you guys. Great discounts every day from me, Vasili Maresi.